But sometimes, severing connections is the only way for you to get stronger. The only way to freedom.
Well, there goes another one. There goes another one. Rest in peace, First Kill. Rest in peace. Please ignore this picture of cursed Jodie Comer on my wall. It is actually quite a nice picture of her, but the lighting makes it look cursed, and those are the vibes here, so I'm keeping it. So I am actually quite shocked by Netflix cancelling First Kill, and this is because I was under the impression that it was doing quite well. It had a decent audience, the numbers were decent, and it has a pretty vocal fandom. So yeah, I was just under the impression that this show was doing quite well, and therefore of course it was going to be renewed for another season because we like it and it has an audience, you know. But I don't work for Netflix. Quite obviously I don't work for Netflix, so I don't have the facts. I don't know how much this show costs to make, and I don't know what the actual figures look like, you know. I would have loved a second season. A lot of you guys already know my thoughts on this show. I really liked it. I thought it was enjoyable. I don't think the show is without its flaws. On a technical level, there was definitely room for improvement. Oh boy, was there room for improvement. But as far as the characters and the relationship between Juliet and Calliope, I was hooked. I found it so enjoyable. I did. And I think when you're invested in a relationship or in characters on a show, you can pretty much forgive pretty much everything else that's awful. You know, you can. Critics were way too hard on this show. They were way too hard. A lot of the reviews that I've read on this show were not fair. In fact, some of the reviews were scathing to the point where it almost sounded personal. The thing is, First Kill is not what I would call a good show, but it is enjoyable, which is similar to something like Heartstopper. And I know people compare these two shows all the time, but Heartstopper is very similar to First Kill in the way that it's not a good show, but you are invested in the characters and the relationship. But whilst Heartstopper got renewed for 2 more seasons, and critics pretty much said that it wasn't the best show, but it was adorable and they could see what it was trying to do, First Kill did not quite get that same treatment. It did not. And this is not about pitting those two shows against each other, because I am actually a fan of Heartstopper. I really love the comics. I much prefer the comics to the TV show, if I'm being honest. And there's room for both. You know, the more gay and lesbian content we have, the merrier, you know. It's not about pitting them against each other. It's not a competition. It's just about looking at the stark difference in which the way people approach these two shows. And I think I'm going to make a separate video on the reception of gay media versus the reception of lesbian media, because it's a broad and multifaceted subject, which is too much to go into in this particular video. But Heartstopper and First Kill are a prime example of the way gay media gets treated very differently to that of lesbian media. But yes, I will make another video on it. I think in fairness we do have to consider budget as well, because something like First Kill would have cost a lot more to make than Heartstopper. Something like First Kill, it had a lot of special effects, not the best special effects, but it still had them. It had a lot of stunts, it had a lot of makeup, and that's all money compared to something like Heartstopper, which is basically a bunch of teenagers like bumbling around a school and at home just shrugging at each other. And I think it's fair to say that budget definitely factors in to a renewal. So, but my god, I mean, how much of a budget was there actually for First Kill? Because the special effects and some of the costume, it was like something out of the Halloween aisle at a discount store, you know. It really was. I say that about budget, but I don't know how true it is. So yeah, I don't think Netflix gave First Kill the chance that it should have. I think there was potential there, I really do. And I also don't think critics and a lot of the reviews that I read about about this show were fair at all. I felt like a lot of people were just trashing the show for the sake of it. Every time I read a review about Heartstopper, even in a well-established publication, the consensus was that the show wasn't necessarily very good and it was for a certain demographic, but it was adorable and it was great, you know? But when it came to First Kill, it was as though First Kill had betrayed and murdered all of their families. Some of the reviews were scathing. They were scathing, and at the end of the day, both Heartstopper and First Kill are just fun teenage shows, you know, which offer representation to gays and to lesbians. That's all they are. They're not high art, they're not independent high art film. And people understood that about Heartstopper, but they did not understand that about First Kill for reasons. So yes, I'd just like to say a huge thank you to the cast and to the crew who made First Kill possible. I review a lot of lesbian media, and I found this show enjoyable, I found it refreshing, and even though we only have one season, I think this show is going to be remembered and cherished for a really long time to come. It's an amazing show for younger lesbian or bisexual women to watch. I wish I'd had this show growing up, you know? And in terms of being lesbian centric, there's really not very many other shows like First Kill out there. In fact, I think Carmilla is the only other one. I'm sure it's only going to be another decade before we get a third. Okay guys, so those are my thoughts. Let me know your own thoughts on the cancellation down in the comments section below. If you're a lesbian, if you're a female vampire who has a particular taste for women, come and join the Sapphic Underground Club. Just come and join it. You will be supporting me and cursed Jodie Comer. We also have a Discord full of lesbians. I am losing my voice, okay. Don't forget to subscribe for instant disappointment, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye.